In this episode of Expat Experts, we will talk with Jean Witt, the creator and founder of Picturo.eu, a platform where you can book photographers when you are traveling or you're a local here in Greece for now, but expanding over Europe in the next years. Jan has been living in Athens for more than 6 years right now, and he will explain his experience living here in Athens being a German.
This is Expat Experts, the podcast that dives into the fascinating lives of those who've lived and worked across borders, exploring the challenges, experiences, and insights they've gained along the way.
As always, if you want to stay tuned with the latest episodes of Expat Experts, hit the subscribe button in YouTube and your favorite audio platforms. And of course, follow us on social media, drop some comments, and give us some love.
The Expat, Jean Witt.
Thank you for coming, Jan.
Thank you for having me.
It's very nice to have you as a guest. We will talk about Picturo afterwards in the second part of the episode, but I would say that we now start a little bit about your life and why you're here in Athens and what brought you here. So was Athens the first ever living abroad? So you're from Germany originally?
I'm originally from Germany, yeah. And for me, Athens was my choice because I'm half Greek.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't tell you before. But I never used to grow up the Greek way.
Mm-hmm.
My dad lives here in Athens. I grew up with my mom and my stepdad in Germany.
Okay.
So I followed very much the German way of upbringing. And I've been here before like 25 times for vacation, visit my dad, spending some time here. Usually we have been either in Agios Dimitrios or down Lago Nisi.
Mm-hmm.
During the summertime, we mostly spend our times there, typical Greek lifestyle, wake up late, having a coffee, go to the beach, have some food, and, coming back. And I was always curious to stay more and explore more my roots. So at some point I decided to move here. And for me, Athens was actually the only choice I wanted to make for living abroad.
Okay. So you came directly from Germany to Greece?
Yeah.
Okay. When was that?
It was in 2018.
Okay.
It came very spontaneously. I was at work, at my job back then in Germany, and I was a little bit bored. I have worked there for 5-6 years in the company, and my whole daily routine got me a little bit bored. And while at work, I Googled just for fun, like job opportunities in Athens, and I think it was through the German Greek embassy.
Okay.
I found the position, and I just wrote an email there, just without any expectations. I just wrote like one line, like, "Hey, saw your job offer. Is it still valid?" And that's it. And I got a reply quite fast, like after a half an hour or so. A girl replied to me that it's still valid, and she asked if I'm willing to have a quick phone call, and I agreed. So I went outside, we had a phone call, she explained me a little bit what they're doing and stuff like this. And I think it took from then maybe 2 months, and I was here. Everything happened very quickly, very spontaneous. I was not really prepared or have planned it. It was just like I had my life, very stable, with house, with job, with friends, with everything. And just because I was bored at some point, and I thought like, it would be nice to live abroad, live in Athens. I found this job, I sent an email, and 2 months later I was here. But it was
a little bit of breaking the routine in there.
Yeah, and actually it was supposed to be only for 1 year.
Okay.
I also kept my house in Germany. I rented it out with all my furnitures and stuff. But now it's 6.5 years approximately.
Not bad.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, well, many things have changed. As I told you before, I met my wife, I got 2 kids.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, come on, you're coming from Germany for 1 year and then you met someone and you have 2 Greek kids because they're born here. So
Yeah, it was an unexpected journey until here.
Especially from saying, okay, I'm bored from my routine to have 2 kids. That's a big change.
Yeah, I just wanted to go for 1 year, spend one summer here, go to the beach every day,
Okay.
enjoy it. Because also the town where I was from, it was not very big. It was, I don't know, 160,000 inhabitants. Um, and it gets a bit boring after quite a time. It also Germany, it has not so much this night out lifestyle like here. And I just wanted to come, spend a year here, enjoy life, and then go back and have again my stable life. But yeah, plans have changed somehow, and
Clearly.
it have been six and a half crazy years.
I see. But you knew already like where you were coming from. It's not just, I don't know. For me, for example, I came 2-3 times to Greece in general before coming to live here. In my life, you said that you came like 25 times with your family, that you're half Greek. So you knew what you were really coming, or it was still a surprise when you arrived here?
It was still a surprise because I have been here a lot before, but as I said before, usually I spend like a week per year, either in summer or in autumn. Most of the time somewhere in Lagonisi. My dad rented their house because I have also 2 brothers who are living in Germany, who are from him. So it was usually kind of family meeting out in Lagonisi. We spent most of the time there. Maybe once per visit, we went to the center for a coffee or for a little walk, but it was not really that I knew the city very well.
Okay.
I knew the coastline very well because we have been there to a lot of different beaches and stuff, but it's not that I have really explored the city.
And what did you do when you arrived here? What was the work about? This embassy related, or
No, there was a exhibition stand builder company. They also based in Germany, and they were looking for German speaking sales managers. And I just applied there, and they liked me. I liked them, and I started working there right away. It was good times. I used to travel then a lot because whenever I booked a project, usually it was somewhere in Germany because Germany has the biggest market for exhibition stand building. They have a lot of exhibitions and stuff. So most of the times I traveled to Germany, which was a bit boring. But yeah, also to many other places. I've been in the States or to some other places here in Europe. It was nice until COVID came.
That's something that I wanted to ask also, because you said 2018. That means that you passed COVID and quarantine here in Greece.
Yes.
And as far as I know, I mean, I arrived to Greece just after the last big quarantine, but it was kind of hardcore times as far as like people told me here in Greece that it was rather strict.
Yeah, it was pretty strict. I even bought a bicycle. I mean, Athens is not a
bike place.
Not a bike place. So whoever comes here, I don't recommend to drive a bike.
No.
Bicycle. It's and a bike.
I have a motorbike, but don't do that either.
Don't do that. I have a friend from Germany who got a scooter here, who lives here as well. And I think after like 2 weeks, he got crashed on the street. And I warned him. I said, "Don't do it." He didn't listen. And but he's fine.
Especially if you drive like a German in Greece. Then
this doesn't fit together.
No. You need to drive like a Greek in Greece to be able to drive anything.
Yeah. But yeah, in general, while COVID, it was very strict and very boring. I used to live back then in Alimos, which is not a very exciting neighborhood. We were just supposed to be, I can't remember, 500 meters around our house or something like this, somewhere close. And Alimos doesn't have a lot to offer in terms of, drinks or food or whatsoever. So I was pretty stuck there in this neighborhood. It It was boring times.
Did you meet your wife before or after?
Before.
At least that. Were you living together at that point of time?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And you survived the COVID together?
We survived together. And it was not so bad, I have to admit. I mean, we get along very good, so...
Well, you could imagine doing quarantine in Alimos alone. That would have been more hardcore, probably.
Yes,
so.
Yes, absolutely.
Or not, depending on the relationship.
No, it was fine.
So, maybe how did you met your wife? Your wife is Greek.
Yes,
she's Greek. And you made here in
yes.
Greece.
Very unromantic on
Tinder.
What's it called? I forgot.
Bumble?
No, the other. I don't even know if it exists anymore. Badoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, very unromantic.
I don't know if it's. Well, I met my girlfriend through Tinder, right? So it's not. It's how it goes right now.
Now modern times, yes.
Yeah. I saw a statistic the other day actually, and it was like nearly 60%. I think people were meeting through internet now. So
I think, especially now, if you go out nowadays, people are more shy. I mean, when we were young, I think it was more easy to speak to strangers, in clubs or in the street or whatsoever. Nowadays, I have the impression that it's not so common anymore because everybody's used to, use this apps or Instagram or whatsoever.
Absolutely.
So it's not so common anymore to hit on somebody on the street.
Even with that, it's just like crazy. I think it changed the whole perspective on how to do things. Like it went from, okay, I meet someone in a club or in a bar or whatever, and I try to talk to them, to, okay, I meet someone or I know someone, and then I talk to this person through Instagram. So you don't even talk in person anymore. You flirt through Instagram or whatever. It's just like, okay, wow.
Things have changed in this way.
How old are your kids now?
My daughter's now a bit more than 2 years, and my son is now almost 5 months.
Okay, so you have a pretty recent baby, newborn,
and the last.
It's in camera, right?
I want you to know. No, joking.
How was the experience of having kids here in Greece? Like, how is it? Hospital. How is the whole process of?
My wife is from Tripoli.
Okay.
So let me start from the beginning. Like when we got pregnant the first time, we went here to the doctors, to go for regular checks and stuff. And here, usually you have to pay. You go to private doctors, you have to pay. We had to find somebody who is good and also not too expensive, because we have been to some in Kolonaki, which were supposed to be good, but also very pricey. It's Kolonaki, yes. But yeah, this in general was all right. No worries about that. We have been warned a lot about cesareans.
Okay.
So we were very careful who we're gonna choose as a final doctor. But again, my wife is from Tripoli, and there we know the doctors. Okay. She knows the doctors there from the hospital, and so we decided, when it comes towards the end, to have no difficulties, not to go here somewhere in a private hospital, and maybe for whatever reason, because we hear a lot of stories from friends or other people that, the doctors that tell you some stories like, oh, I see something I don't like, we have to make a cesarean and stuff like this. So we decided to go to Tripoli to a public hospital. I have to say, the doctors were amazing.
Okay. Cool.
But the hospital,
different, no?
Different than in Germany, yes. I think some of the hospital, some of the jails we have in Germany look better than this hospital.
Yeah, I don't know.
And from inside was even worse. Let's say.
I had a knee surgery here.
Okay.
This year, beginning of this year, actually, and I was okay. I mean, the hospital was old. in the sense of like building wise, and that was a little bit like, okay, the shocking part of it. But in general, I was treated really well, and everything went pretty good. The doctors were nice; they were doing a good job. But it's true that building infrastructure wise, it was like, okay, wow, okay, where I'm entering, no, and
Yes.
now that I go to the physio and I still go to one of the big hospitals here, you see some of the corridors, and it's like it feels very 1890s
Yeah.
style. Yeah. How is the process for a foreigner like to grow? Because your kids hasn't started school yet, I suppose, but
My daughter goes to
yeah,
kindergarten.
to kindergarten.
Since this
It's a
September.
common thing here in Greece to do kindergarten. I think like, I don't know if
Depends, but since we have now the second child, it's a little bit difficult.
Okay,
I'm working in the home office,
Mm.
so I'm around with my children every day. It's a bit noisy. My wife is alone with the other child. It's a little bit needy in this age, so it's difficult also for her to spend her focus on both of the kids. Plus, we have a small dog. So it's a little bit difficult. So we've made the decision that, okay, my daughter goes now to kindergarten. She's now a bit more than 2 years old, and it's fine. It's fine. It's again a private thing, like unfortunately everything here in Greece, or almost everything. So we're also gonna have to pay for this, but it's all right. It's good. We have a daily routine, which is nice.
Is it difficult to find kindergarten? I know that in Germany, for example, it's kind of difficult to find a spot.
It's difficult to find a spot, but at least it's public, most of them. Here, if you try to get into the public kindergartens, as I understood, my wife has taken care of all of this stuff, so I'm not too deeply involved in this. But as I understood, to get into public kindergartens, at least the decent ones, you have to know the mayor, or
Okay, have contacts.
Have contacts.
Like everything in Greece.
Like everything in Greece, yes. So yeah, for us was no way that we could go somewhere in a public kindergarten. So like most of the people, we chose a private one, which is also nice. It's a nice kindergarten. We're satisfied.
Cool. I think you said something like your wife take care of some things. Is due to language also? Because you said that you have Greek, but I know that you've been learning Greek, but you're still learning.
Still learning, yes.
Okay. How is it's a typical topic from every expat in here coming and saying, okay, I'm learning Greek. Difficult.
It's an extremely difficult language. And okay, since COVID came, I stopped my lessons and I'm just continue picking up phrases, words and stuff like whenever I can, but it's not that I'm actively learning, which is bad. I'm always upset about myself because I would like to speak the language better and more, but daily life grabs you, and especially with 2 children, it doesn't let you any space to go also for some lessons or do even other stuff like going to the gym or hanging out a lot with friends. So
Can imagine.
and the good thing about Athens, the good and the bad thing, is that here everybody speaks English.
Yes.
So if you have the basic Greek and English, you can survive here easily. It's no problem at all.
I don't know if it's too good though. That's like
Which brings you to
it doesn't force you to learn,
exactly. That's what I mean. It doesn't force you to learn harder, and like many people come here and they don't speak English, so they're forced to learn. I know people who live here for 1 year and they speak fluently Greek, which if you study hard is not a problem.
Yeah, but for doing that, you need to have the time. Like if you're working 8 hours per day, most of the people doesn't want to spend 2 hours more in the afternoon every day to learn Greek. If you do it and you spend like for, I don't know, 1 year doing 3 times per week, 2 hours every day, good, you will speak Greek in 1 year perfectly, no? But of course, the sacrifice that you're doing is that you don't have any other life than working and learning Greek.
Exactly.
It's complex. It's very complex.
It is.
What is the thing that shocked you most? Like, because I'm always curious with German. It's a very different. It's a very, very different culture life. I lived 4 years in Germany, as you know. Like, but when I came back here, some things remind me of a Barcelona or of Catalonia some years ago. So I was used to certain things. It still shocked me some stuff, but of course, I suppose that if you have a very strong German approach or vision, or I don't know if you had that mentality. But
oh yeah, I mean, if you grow up in Germany, there's no way you break this this mentality. What shocked me the most, I wouldn't really say that something really, really shocked me, because as said before, I have been here many times. I can't really tell. I mean, traffic is crazy.
That's a typical one.
Yeah. When I went the first day to work, I had a small Smart, and I was going from Peristeri all the way down to Glifada, and I arrived at the office completely sweaty. Not because of the heat; it was warm as well, but I was so stressed out. I went up on the highway, then the whole traffic, all the bikes going, everybody speeding, and I was there like the sign said 50. I was going with 50,
and but nobody
else was going. So even trucks passed by and they honked at me, and I was like, Jesus, what's going on here? Until after a few days, I understood. Okay, I have to go with the flow.
You need to adapt.
Yeah, but then when you understand how the traffic works, it's fun. I prefer the traffic here 100 times over the one in Germany.
I must say that for me, for example, driving the motorbike city-wise, it's a little bit more okay.
It's very dangerous.
The car in the Autobahn, I prefer it here than in Germany, because the Autobahn without limits in Germany, sometimes it's too crazy for me. Like the people going way too fast. I mean, people here drives crazy, but you are always like knowing that everyone is driving crazy. In Germany, you are more or less relaxed because everyone follows the rules. But when there is no rule, they put their cars at 280 and they pass you like flying, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on? So,
yeah.
In that sense, absolutely more dangerous the traffic here, for sure. Statistically, there is much more deaths here than in Germany.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But it's true that it's more, once you get used to it, it's more like, well.
Yeah, it's because when you drive in Germany with a car, you always check the speed limits. You watch, okay, 50, a sign for 50, and you watch your car, you watch that, oh my God, okay, now I'm going 55, now I'm going 60, okay, I can't go much over 60 because if there's the chance that every corner there's a
speed camera.
A speed camera, hiding in the bush. So you're very nervous not to exceed the speed limits too much. While here it's like,
yeah, the Greeks see a police officer and they give more gas.
Yeah.
The police officers don't do anything either about it. So how many people you see without helmet?
Once I was at the traffic light, and I was in the morning on the way to work. I was on the traffic light. I had my phone here. It was an older car. I had no speakers. I was just on the phone talking, and next to me on the traffic light stopped a police bike, and the guy was right next to me looking at me, and I was there looking at him. They didn't care. Why they wouldn't stop me in Germany.
You will be stopped for sure.
They stop me for no reason the whole time. I mean, at least once per month you get stopped. They see you. They have stopped me several times because they saw from miles away that I was on the phone, or I was not wearing a seatbelt, or just a general control for no reason. This is
here. There is speed cameras, some of them.
None of
but
them
you
working.
Never know when they are working. I've seen it once, that speed camera in Syntagma in Basilia Sofia.
Yeah.
I saw it open 1 or 2 times since I've been here. It's crazy because, of course, nobody counts that camera ever works.
So it's
And they
non-stop.
it's non-stop. It's flash, 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 and it's like, wow, okay, nobody cares. They don't care. It's a different mentality. I think it's just like it comes with, okay, we have other things to be doing, like taking care of this thing. I don't know, like.
Yeah, I even saw some months ago or maybe a year ago, I saw a statistic that in the center of Athens, they have put 2 years ago, I think, 3 years ago, they wanted to take care a little bit of the parking situation. So they have hired a lot of controls to give parking tickets.
Yeah.
And I think, I can't remember exactly the numbers, but I think it was like in those few years, they have given like 1.6 million parking tickets, and only 200,000 of them have been actually paid. Everybody else, like, okay,
Sure,
whatever.
I got once, I paid it.
Yeah. But what happened to me twice is that they took my license plates.
That's the other funny thing here in Greece.
This is weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right to your car and you don't.
Yeah, I mean, nobody really cares about the parking situation. I mean, all over this country, people park wherever they want. They don't care at all if they block
No, never block the containers.
Never block the containers.
That's the only rule, because the truck of the container will kick your car to take the containers out without any problem.
Yeah, but anyway, then for parking where you're not supposed to park, which is in Germany, for example, you get a small ticket, depends, like 15 euros or something. They put it, you paid, and olakala. Then they took your they take away your license plates from the car, and you have to go somewhere to the office. They tell you like, you can just get it after 1 month. And you're like, hey, I need my car. I cannot wait for 1 month. What? People are going crazy here in the traffic every day, making whatever they want, going over the red lights all the time, speeding all the time. But then I parked wrong for once, and you take my license plates away and you keep it for a whole month. I mean, where's the logic behind that?
Well, it's exactly what you said. Nobody pays their bills, so they take the plate. So you need to go to the police, yes or yes. So you pay your thing.
Yeah,
it's their way of enforcing that you do your part.
Yeah, but then I was there the next day. They took in one evening. They took my plates. I went to the office the next morning. I paid the bill and I said, hey, look, can I have back my license plates? They were like, no, come back in 30 days.
Unless you know the mayor. Unless you have contacts, and then the time is normally reduced.
I mean, I sent my wife there.
That's also a good solution.
Yeah. she took care of it.
Sending a person who speaks Greek, it's always a good solution.
Yeah, I think then we got it back after like 10 days. They made the exception for, I can't remember the reason, but yeah.
It's so typical. It's so Greek.
Things are funny here also with the police. Sometimes they're extremely strict, but most of the times they're like, whatever.
What is your favorite part of living here compared to Germany? I mean, you will tell me the weather probably, but...
Well, yeah. I mean, the typical, first of all, it's the weather, even though I have to admit that now after 6 years or 6 summers spent here, I don't really like the summer so much anymore, especially now with kids, because the first years when I was here, I was at the beach every day. Yeah. I spent time at the beach. The moment I finished, I used to work in Glyfada. I had in my car, I had a small bag with my swim shorts, with a towel. And right after work, 5 o'clock, I was at the beach. 10 minutes after 5, I was laying at the beach, sun tanning, swimming, which was amazing. But now the last years, as more summer you go through, and also the weather gets even hotter summer by summer, I have the impression, I start to suffer, like most of the Greeks do. They don't like summer so much because, it's long, it's hot, it's tiresome. And also now in my situation with 2 kids, a dog. I cannot go just whenever I want to the beach and say, okay, guys, I'm leaving the house. Bye. And I go for a swim, chill there at the beach, drink my Freddo espresso until it's night. I can't do this anymore. So when I'm lucky, I can make it like once per week to the beach, but just when I'm lucky. So actually, I don't enjoy this part so much anymore. Beside that, of course, the lifestyle, Athens is so lively. Greece in general, even the small villages, you have a lot of people out in the nights, which is in Germany not the case. In Germany, it's very much this Monday to Thursday, or Sunday to Thursday, you stay at home, go to bed early, have your dinner home, watch a movie, go to bed. Here it's like you're out every day. I can't remember any day that I stay at home. Even now with the kids, we go out every day. After I finish work, we go somewhere down Flisvos Marina for a walk, or we go to Glyfada or near Smyrni for a walk, have a coffee, check a bit the shops, which is totally different from the mentality in Germany. And I really enjoy this. I don't like too much staying in the house, even though I was used to it and it was okay. Now, thinking back, feeling a little bit like, okay, this was boring lifestyle you had. So yeah, this is a part I enjoy a lot. Beside that, everything else, the food, the islands, in general, Greece, to explore Greece as a whole country. Before, I used to travel a lot. I try to, be out of Germany like at least 5 times per year, visiting Barcelona, visiting Rome, visiting wherever, small trips here and there. Since I live here, most of the time I spend here, going on the islands, going in the mainland, in the mountains. It's not so much that drives me out of the country anymore. So yeah, this is what I enjoy as well.
Nice. Favorite island?
Oh, I have to say I like the most the Ionian Islands.
Okay.
Like Kefalonia, Zakynthos. I think those have been my best trips.
Nice.
I like the most this turquoise waters with this nice, huge white cliffs and some greenery as well. And the architecture there is nice as well. I don't like the Kyklades so much. They have this nice, typical Greek white house style villages, but the rest it's too dry. It's very very dead islands.
Very rocky, yeah.
Yeah, so for me the Ionian Islands are the best, I would say.
Cool. So maybe now that we are already in recommendations, and to close the first part a little bit, I would like to ask you a little bit of like, what is your favorite kind of everything? Let's say like this. You already touched food, so do you have a favorite dish, Greek dish? That's a very difficult one. I don't know how to respond to that one, to be honest.
I expected this question, and honestly, I don't really have a favorite food. I mean, put me somewhere in a taverna, have some patates, salad, and a plate with meat, and I'm the happiest person. All mixed plate with some meats. Soon it's Christmas time. I'm excited that Mele Makarona are coming back to the stores. I'm very happy about that. Sweets here,
yes,
they're amazing. I mean,
I don't get the prices of the sweets here. How it's possible? Like, I don't know. I know a couple of stores. It's not that a single one I know that they do it like this. It's that I know a couple of places that they do these individual cakes and they put it in glass.
Yeah.
And that costs like €2. In Germany, that will cost the glass itself, like.
Yeah.
And you take here the glass and you take it. Like, I mean, I don't know if there's people bringing it back.
Don't think so.
I don't think so. Like, it's just like, I don't get how is this like business working. But
me neither, but I'm happy about it.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
Very good sweets. Very good sweets.
They're extremely tasty as well. I mean, I don't know in Barcelona and in Spain in general how the sweets are, but you have lived in Germany as well. So sweets in Germany are not that sweet as they're here.
Here they put sugar in everything.
You order a crepa and they drown it in chocolate sauce. I mean, it's crazy. I love chocolate. I love sweets. So this is totally my country.
Not the healthiest one, probably, but
no, unfortunately not. But
yeah,
I enjoy it. Also in the evenings, going out. I don't know, in the center, like Nancy's Sweet Home or places like this. Just sit, have a coffee, and have a whatever bueno bomb, or it's after this you feel shit, but it's so good.
Nice. What about drinks? Any drink that you like from Greece?
I mean, which makes the most impression. I mean, because I'm not drinking a lot of alcohol. I mean, sometimes when I go out, of course, but I'm not this kind of ouzo or mastica or whatever, this liquor stuff. The beers are good. I like the drinks they're doing here. In general, I think they serve very high quality drinks in all the bars here. But the cold coffee, Freddo espresso or Freddo cappuccino, is, for me, it's unbeatable.
The top.
I mean, I've never found this anywhere else in the world in this specific kind of way. I mean, you can go in Spain and tell them like, I want a cold coffee,
with this ice.
But they make it this Starbucks kind of.
No, we actually do in summer coffee with ice, but it's literally like they will bring you an espresso and they will bring you a glass with ice, and then you drop the espresso inside of the glass with ice.
Exactly.
It's not the whole Freddo espresso thing of mixing it with the ice already and with the sugar and whatever. It's a complete different thing.
Yeah, it's different. And for me, in terms of drinks, the biggest impression is the cold coffees, like being in summer, sitting somewhere in a beach bar, drinking your Freddo espresso.
And then nobody is hurrying you up for finishing the coffee. That's also nice.
Yes, of course. So yeah, for me, this is the
top.
The top, yeah.
You said you like beer. What is your favorite Greek beer? Now we will have a fight here.
Yeah, I think so, because as a German, I should know a lot of good beer. And I saw that you made even recently some recommendations about your favorite German beer. I like the simple Alpha a lot.
Okay.
Because it's soft, it's very easy to drink, especially for summer. I think it's a very easy beer just to have a good time with. But tell me, what's your?
I would always go for Mamos. Mamos is
also
my
good.
top preference always.
This would come the second. Yeah. This would come the second.
Mamos, Bergina, Nymphy now. Also, there is a lot. I mean, the quality is very good. I
like
agree
them.
I mean, I came from Germany. Of course, the standards were there, or there is bad beer in Germany also,
of course,
but there is a quantity of beers that you can have everywhere that it's ridiculous. Here you have, I don't know, 10 commercial brands of beer, and then you will start having, I don't know, Nukta brewery, or these more micro breweries here and there in Greece. But the level of amount of beer that you have in Germany, it's out of this world.
Yeah.
It's dangerous also.
But it's good beer.
Yes,
especially Bavaria area is.
Yes,
they
know how to do their things.
They know how to make beer. That's right. But yeah, sometimes I think they're also too strong. I mean, if you just want to sit and have a good time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I always say the same. Like Guinness, also, it's a strong beer, for example, and actually Guinness, it's for being a black beer, it's drinkable.
Yeah,
it's dangerous. But yeah, Bock beers in Germany, or like Triple, or like even
they're hard.
Some Keller beers, you say, okay, you drink one and you're wasted, like you're fucked up.
Okay, as a German, I wouldn't say that, but
Man, not fucked up, but you have eaten like that. That's food. It's not drink. It's like you're eating like liquid.
True.
What about cultural things? Like, do you listen to any Greek music, for example, or do you follow any things happening?
No, unfortunately, I have to pass on this. Sometimes I go to Bouzoukia, for fun.
Okay.
I wish I could go more often. My wife hates it. She's totally against this stuff. But in general, I don't listen too much to Greek music. First, because I can't really understand it. And what I understand is mostly, it gives me, I hope to say nothing wrong here now, sometimes a bit ridiculous vibes with this whole, because whatever song it is, it's about love, it's about heartbreak and
whole drama.
Yeah, whole typical Greek drama stuff, which I'm not so fond of. So yeah, when I go out and there's a good song, good Greek song, I like it. I think the music in general, the rhythms and stuff is nice, but it's not that like some other people following the artists like Argios or those guys. Nah.
Any recommendation for anyone who would come here to Athens in general, like something that you would say, okay, I wish I would know that when I arrive?
I mean, in general, from my experience, because before I made the step, I was very afraid of it. I was thinking about it for many years. And as I explained before, it happened very spontaneously. And it was hard at the beginning. So I thought the first 6 months, I thought so often about, okay, screw it, I'm gonna quit this year. I had now my summer here. It was like autumn, September or October. I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm done. There are too many difficulties. And I felt like, okay, I want to go back. I just pack my stuff and I go. So I think whenever you move abroad, it brings a lot of challenges. Especially Athens, when you start working here, work life is here, depending on the company, of course, can be a little bit challenging. Also, the lifestyle here, sometimes, people are a bit rude. Traffic is crazy. It's noisy here. I think at the beginning, depends where you come from, depends on your expectations. It can be a little bit challenging everything. Of course, you will enjoy all the good stuff, going to the beach, going out and stuff like this. But I think that it can also be very challenging. And my advice is go through it as long as you can. Try to solve things out. And I would say that when you pass the difficulties and you got used to the life here, you can have a very good life.
The Expert, founding Picturo.eu.
So we already talked a little bit about yourself and how you arrived here and your expat life. Now we'd like to know what Picturo is about and the project that you have in your hands right now and you've built. How difficult, if it was easy to build something here, or how did you do? But first question, it's mandatory. What it's Picturo? What do you do?
So Picturo is all about photography. We are a platform where tourists, but locals as well, can find very easily their photographer according to their needs. We have built a platform where you can search per destination and find available photographers in your region that you want. And compare their styles, compare their prices, get in touch with them, either book them directly through Picturo or get in touch with them, see their social media, see some images, the way they shoot. And so we have created Picturo to give people the easiest way to find a decent photographer without any effort.
Okay, cool.
This is like the main goal behind it.
Nice. And it's basically a website platform, or?
It's a kind of web application. Right
Mhm.
now, it's just a platform, just a website, but it can also be used as an app. We're not on the App Store live right now, but this is one of the next steps we're going to do. We have so many projects ahead that we want to update on Picturo, and this is of course one of them, to have our app in the App Store.
Mhm.
Also expand on other countries. Right now we're just available in Greece.
Mhm.
At least we have just Greek photographers here, and yeah, we want to expand all over Europe with the app then, and this is the goal.
Nice. How do you find the photographers as a company? I mean, like,
Usually the photographers find us.
okay.
I mean, of course, we make a little bit of ads, but they're not targeting specifically the photographers. Usually it targets everyone who likes photography. So they find us and they register on our platform. It's sometimes if we see a very nice photographer on some destination, we targeting them and we send them a message like, hey, we like your style of photography. Would you like to join? But usually photographers find us and they register. So it's not a process that we hire somebody or we invite somebody very actively to join Picturo. It's more like whenever there's a good photographer who wants to join our platform, to have a profile, have a booking system, they can do it. They can just register. We double check their data if it's legit and it fits to our styles, and then photographers can join our team.
There were 2 photographers interviewed in the podcast previously, before this episode. So
one of them, actually found you through.
okay.
Was
Natalia?
Yeah.
Natalia, yeah.
Yes, she's also Picturo photographer.
Okay. Didn't know. She's very good. She actually did a photo shooting with me and Catherine. Just after the recording, she was looking for some couple to do a photo shooting, and it happened. So actually, I interviewed her, and then after 1 week, I was doing photo shooting with her. So she's very good. So anyone who's looking, it's big recommendation. I will send you the profile of the second one, so you can,
okay,
or the other way around. Where does this come from? Like, are you a photographer yourself? How this whole project starts? Why do you decide to build this?
Basically, it's because I'm not a photographer, but I like photography. As I said before, I used to travel a lot. I like traveling, and for me, I have to admit that especially the times of Instagram have influenced me a little bit, also where to travel, and gave me an impression of you see some travel influencers and they go to Barcelona or to whatever place, and they have these amazing photos, and you're sitting at home in your couch and you're like, oh, okay, this is a nice place, I want to go there as well. So you get influenced in the first place by a good photographer. At least it happened to me that I wanted to go to this place because I saw an amazing picture of it. But me, as I said, I'm not a photographer myself. So what happened to me is that sometimes I travel to these places. I remembered some photos I saw from specific places, and I wanted to recreate them. And with a phone camera, you just can't do. It's impossible. And it happened sometimes that I flew back home after a trip, and while the trip you do like endless photos with your phone, and sometimes I got a camera, good equipment, but still never I could do what photographers do. And then sometimes after the trip, even though we spent a lot of effort on making good photos, and okay, here and there some good photos happened like accidentally, I would say. I was sometimes disappointed that okay, the photos are not the same. It's not what I saw at the internet. So
you had some expectations, and then you
I had some expectations on myself that I couldn't fulfill, and I had either the choice of going to a course for photography or creating Picturo, and I chose the second, the little bit more difficult part, but more exciting part.
Yes. So you are one of the creators and founders of Picturo itself.
Yes.
Is there more people involved, or it's a solo project?
No, I'm not a programmer or anything else. That there's a whole team behind it.
Okay.
I actually had the idea of this whole application. I have to admit the basic idea was my wife's. At one point, she said like, because she also likes photos. She also is a mini influencer, and whenever we travel together, we try to make the best out of what we were able to do. And sometimes you search for photographers online, and you either go this way of searching on Instagram or for photographers you can find, but then it's always the struggle. Hey, like your profile, like your photos, we're coming then and then. Are you available? What's the price? It's a little bit difficult to arrange. Or you go through Google, you find many photographers' websites. Some of them you still have to get in contact with them in some ways, discuss some stuff, ask for the availabilities. Many of them, they don't have prices online, so you have to request the price, or you have to fill out a form. And we said we want to create something as simple as possible, so that you go on Picturo, you want a photo shooting, you go on our website, you have in your region 10, 15, 20 photographers available. You can with one click switch their profiles, see all the necessary data you want, get in touch with them the way you want, so make it the easiest way possible. This was actually this is actually the whole idea of Picturo, to create something mainly for the travelers that go wherever. Like we have photographers in Santorini, in Athens, in Thessaloniki, and Mykonos, and many destinations all over the country. So wherever the tourists go, they can find very easily a bunch of photographers that they can choose from. And that's our goal, that's the vision, that's somehow based on our private life, how this idea came up. And back to your question, there's a whole team behind Picturo. It's just not me. I had the idea, my wife had the idea, I made it a real thing. But yeah, we're working as a whole team behind it.
Do you do pets photos also? No, it's animal photographers. So
I think in Athens we have one guy, his name is Elias. He's a specific dog photographer.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he's very good.
Didn't know that existed as a concept.
Yes.
Cool.
At first, when he registered and I saw his profile, I was not sure, okay, does this fit to what we want on our website? But then I said, okay, I like pets, I like dogs.
So why not? No?
Why not?
What's the process of a photographer to come in? So you said that you check their profiles, but basically they register. It's a kind of community approach. So you just come to Picturo, you just go to the website and fill in an application form, or
kind of like this. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as well for all the involved parties, for the photographers and for the, let's say, customers, the travelers, or even the locals. It's for everyone. We want to keep things as easy as possible, because nobody likes complicated.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some other websites out there which offer kind of the same service, but it's either involved with some extra cost, like you have to book a package with someone. You cannot choose a photographer, you just have to book like the Athens photo walk. Okay. For, I don't know, a specific amount, and you don't even know who's gonna come there as a photographer. So, or there are other sites you have to send the requests, and it's a bit struggle for us. It was always the goal that, okay, a photographer wants to join, okay, join. We're gonna make a quick check if the photographer is no scammer, if has the right qualities to be a professional, and if he's no scammer. When he's passed the check, we put him online, and all good. If you want to register, it's a matter of 5 to 10 minutes, and you're online. You have your whole profile, you have your booking system. For photographers, it's very easy, and again, also for the end users, we try to keep it as simple as possible, because especially in holiday, nobody likes to lose time, send 5 to 10 requests, and send emails and stuff. It's
nice.
It's time consuming.
I also wanted to ask you, how difficult was it to build Picturo being here? You build it directly from Greece, like what's the challenges that you find building and doing the entrepreneur approach, into whole thing?
Well, the company is Germany based. It was very difficult as well to make this split, because you have to make a lot of paperwork in Germany. I mean, in general, I'm going a lot back and forth because I have another job which is located there. And then I'm coming here, so I go back and forth the whole time. But still, it was very time consuming also make the whole paperwork in Germany, then come back here, be with the family, then go back because you had to another appointment, fill out some other paperwork. It was very difficult. But we decided as a whole team to start on the Greek market, because I knew some photographers here, have done in the past some photo shoots here, which also gave me a little bit the idea of creating something like this, because in Germany, when you want to make a photo shooting and you go to a photographer, they take you like starting, I don't know, from 150 and up. They don't even get out of bed for less, usually. When I started here, it was 2018-19, was then I made my first few photo shoots, and just for fun. I was bored, I had no real friends or anything. I went to some photo shootings. I had photo shootings for like 30-40 euros, and I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. And also the idea behind it was that if people in Germany would know, as an example, that when they come here, they can make a photo shooting for 40 euros. They would go much more for it. I mean, I don't want to. I think 40 euros is even.
It's too cheap.
It's too cheap, but the competition is very big. So many photographers go that low, which is, I would say, a little bit sad thing. But for the end user, for the one who wants to have a photo shooting, it's a nice thing. And I think that people who are coming here, I don't know, from the States, from Northern Europe, or wherever, I mean, where can you find photo shootings for these prices?
So it made it easier to take the decision of focalizing first on the Greek market to then expand.
Yes.
Start from here to start growing.
Yes. I mean, I had also my concerns based on mentality a little bit. I think Greeks are not so open for new things. I would say they really like to stick in the most cases to their
ways of doing it,
to what they know. When you try to enter with something new in the market, I think it's quite challenging here in Greece. Luckily, there are a lot of foreigners photographers. So I would say maybe half of the photographers that are on Picturo right now are foreigners, which helps a lot. Of course, there are also Greeks, a lot of Greeks registered. So it was my biggest fear, actually, that the Greeks would maybe not enter. They would say like, okay, what is this? I don't know this. I don't want this. But luckily, we have gained some trust, and also many Greek photographers have joined us.
Nice.
This was my biggest fear, and in terms of struggle, typical entrepreneurship.
I mean, building a company, it's always complex, no? So
Exactly.
what about the audience? Like, do you have the data of how many people are Greeks versus travelers, or people who are coming on because of or booking through Picturo?
This I can not track directly. I
Mhm.
mean, I can see from where
Where they-
people join it. Is the majority is here in Greece.
But you
Because
don't
we,
know if they are tracking, registering from here, being I don't
Yeah,
know,
I mean-
someone from Italy. No?
exactly. I cannot track this, and I think I don't even know if this is legal. But anyway, this is
Language you could track. It's the only thing.
language I could track. Yeah, but in general, we just track from which part, like Athens or Thessaloniki, or
Mm.
we track. We are able to track from which city somebody
Yeah.
or from which country somebody goes on our website. Which is mainly in Greece, because also our ads mainly are on Meta
Localized,
and are locally placed. Because we also have a lot of wedding photographers, baptisms and stuff, which is here a huge market.
Yeah.
And most of the photographers, especially the Greek ones, they're focused on weddings and stuff like this. So we place a lot of ads for them here in Greece. But from many other countries as well, we have a lot of searches from the States who check your photographer, and everywhere, from everywhere they find us.
What is the business model behind it? How do you earn money out of it? Or it's like you take a commission out of every booking, or
No, this was a big factor for us as well, because usually how other websites in this way operate is that they take a commission, like usually 20-30% fee.
Yeah.
So, which we believe is stealing of money from the photographers. And on the other hand, then the photographer, they put this extra money because they say, okay, I want to have 100 euros for my photo shooting. If, I don't know, another website takes me 30%, I charge the 30% on top, so that at the end I get my 100 euros. So which makes the photo shoot also for the end customer at the end of the day more expensive. We have decided that, at least in our minds, and as we understood, also the photographers agree, that we have a yearly subscription. When you're a photographer, you want to register on Picturo. Recently, we have started to add a fee, booking subscription of now it's 45 euros for one whole year, which is in our mind it's a quite small amount. And yeah, once you pay this fee, you're online, you have the whole year to...
So basically it's a subscription model.
Yeah.
Okay. It makes sense, because then you are not compromising, no, the fact of like raising prices because everyone raises their prices, because you're taking out of its booking something, no, like.
Exactly, and it's again in our mind, because we want to keep things also here as simple as possible. We don't want to steal from anybody money. We say, okay, if you have 100 bookings per year through Picturo, fine by us. They're all 100% yours. You don't have to charge extra fee to the customer. We don't take any money from you. You have your small subscription, which is quite small, I would say.
45 per year, it's small. There is much bigger subscriptions.
Exactly. I mean, we also have our cost of having the whole website running. I mean, we're not getting right now millionaires, filthy rich with this 45 euros. But yeah, we consider it as very fair, and yeah, this is the model we work. So also like this, we give the opportunity for the customer. We don't say, okay, you have to book or leave. If you go on the profile of the photographer, you have several options what you can do. You can book, but you can also get them, contact them. You can call them, you can email them, you can WhatsApp them, you can switch to their social media profiles. You have all the options. So we don't force end customers to commit a booking. So we give them the chance, like, okay, do you want to talk to the photographer first? Get in touch in whatever way you want. So we're not
controlling the whole.
Yeah, we're not relying on, okay, press the booking button, so we get our commission of whatever, 50 euros. So this is the whole business model behind that.
No, it makes a lot of sense. You already talk about the mobile app as the next step. Is there any other future plans that you can talk about it for Picturo? Or is right now the big focus is getting the mobile done?
No, it's not so much getting the mobile app done. I think the mobile, the application is most interesting for the photographers themselves, because we have behind Picturo, that behind every photographer's profile is a whole booking system. They can manage their calendars, can check their bookings. When there's a booking request, they have to accept it.
So the whole administrative part of it.
Yeah, so I think especially for photographers themselves, the application will be a good step, but this is right now not our focus. We want to expand because we're right now just in Greece, which is a quite small market, at least in terms of photographers. Greece, has a lot of tourists, but has a very few destinations with limited quantity of photographers. We want to be at some point all over Europe. So by next year, we're gonna be available in Spain, Italy, Germany, France, hopefully.
Well, okay.
So this is our main focus, to expand in other countries, get awareness by the photographers and the people who like photography, to also reach more audience in general, because right now it's very Greece focused. But yeah, we want to expand it. This is the biggest step. This is the biggest challenge, because as we said before, when the camera was off, getting nowadays reaching more and more people gets more and more difficult, because this is the way it is right now.
You have competence, and at the same time you have so many, things going on social media. Being the one who pops up in there, it's difficult. Being the one who puts your content in there, promoting yourself, it's difficult. And
exactly.
Well, it's what it is nowadays. You need to put a lot of hours on content creation and all of that. It's not the focus of your work directly, no?
Yeah, I mean, we have a social media manager. We have somebody who runs our ads properly. We have in our team, the right people to do it. But again, it's a tough, long road that we have to go, and it brings a lot of challenges, and unfortunately, it's also very costly. But yeah, I hope at the end of the day, we're gonna have good results.
Well, I hope people who are listeners are, now most of the people who listen are in Greece, so at least they already have available. If you're listening from one of the countries that Jan just said, like, it's a matter of time that it arrives to your home, so it's just check it out.
So follow us on Instagram.
Exactly.
And whenever you need a photographer in Greece, check Picturo.eu, and surely you will find somebody who fits to your needs and price range. Yeah.
Perfect. I was going to ask as the last mandatory question where the people can find it, but you already solved that. So basically follow Picturo, check the website Picturo.eu. As always, this will be in the links are always in the description of the interview.
Perfect.
Thanks a lot for your time today and for coming and explaining everything. It has been a pleasure talking with you.
Same. It was very nice to be here, share a bit my view of being an expat I think everybody has very different views, very different experiences. So I think it's nice to hear from a lot of different people, a lot of different opinions. So thanks for having me here and let me share mine. And yeah, it was very nice. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.